Hello and welcome to Style It Up, where we take you inside the fashion world of New England. I'm your host, Olga Medvedev Young. We have an exciting show for you today with amazing guests, including a menswear designer. So let's get right into it. Our first guest is Michelle McCormack. She and her production partner, Richard Villani, are the organizers of this year's Fashion Night Out. Michelle is a fashion connoisseur, a blogger, a guest speaker, and a world traveler. She's here with us to recap this year's Fashion Night Out and give us the inside scoop of the event. Please welcome Michelle McCormack. Michelle, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
Tell us about Fashion Night Out. Tell us how you got involved.
Sure.
Let's just start with, jump right into it.
Okay, cool. My co-producer Richard Villani and I met in New York several years ago when we were working for magazines, Condé Nast, Vogue specifically. And we both actually grew up in Boston. So anyway, we met there, moved back to Boston a couple of years ago, and thought, why don't we bring FNO, which is a Vogue thing, to Boston last year. And so we approached Vogue about it. They said the only way you can do that is if you actually get the city of Boston on board. So I thought for sure this wasn't going to happen. We were able to get on a phone call with somebody in charge over at the city about FNO. Within 10 minutes, we sold them on the idea. Just like dropping names like Vogue magazine and how popular it was in LA and Milan and London. They said, sure, do it. And we came actually late to the game last year. I think it was in June we started it, and we started producing it, and by I leveraged my social media communities. I have a Facebook page called Secret Boston, and I have a pretty big Twitter following. So in doing that and letting people know we were producing FNO, we started a Facebook page as well. Within a month, Rue La La asked to sponsor it. And then right after that, we got a full cover story in the Boston Globe. And then on September 6th of last year, it was the biggest fashion event probably the city has ever seen.
That's amazing.
Yeah, within a couple of months. It was really awesome. We were very proud.
And I mean, if you think about Boston, it's not necessarily a fashion hub.
Not at all,
so
yeah.
It's amazing that there was such a turnout.
There was loads of buy-in for it. And you know why it was, I believe, is because FNO is all about fashion and inclusiveness and open to the public. And it was really exciting. You didn't have to pay a fee to be part of it. You have to pay, the retailers had to pay $250 on the Vogue site just to get listed. But other than that, it was you could do whatever you wanted. And so our job as producers was to let retailers know the few guidelines. There were only a couple of guidelines to be involved, and that's you can't offer sales because it's all about getting money back into the economy. That's why Vogue started it in 2009 because of the recession. So there were no sales. The way you get people in the store is through offering free drinks, food, DJs, events. And that's why all the stores on Newbury Street, Copley Place, South End were open to the public, and it was so awesome for the community. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And that was last year. So it was really awesome.
Fashion, I mean, you say that, drinks or alcohol or food brings people together. I think fashion brings people together.
Totally.
People come out of the woodwork and they're like, I'm into fashion too.
Yeah, and you don't have to be fabulous. You don't have to be rich. That was another thing. It was for everyone. Yeah. And that's Vogue guidelines, believe it or not, which is really interesting. It's the old days are over when it was exclusive.
Studio 54.
Even high fashion they realize that they have to be sort of open. Look at H&M, selling Lanvin and Comme des Garçons and all these big designers that
big models too.
Used to be they used to be all exclusive, and now realize, I think because of the internet and also because of the economy, that they actually have to be open for everyone.
It's amazing because you do see big celebrities wearing things like H&M and Forever 21, and it's so fun that that's where fashion is headed.
I love it.
Yeah. So talk about some of the events that happened.
So last year, we had the big wrap party at Coyote Studios out in Austin, which was awesome. We had 800 people there. It was crazy. I lived in New York and in London, and it was as cool of a party as I'd ever been to.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Rue La La threw a party on one stage.
Yay.
Exactly. And the Ames Hotel rebuilt the Woodward Bar on another stage. Did you know about? Were you there?
No.
It was fantastic. Every magazine and newspaper was there, and it was in the middle of nowhere, in Austin. And we did that because because it's a citywide event. It's not a Newbury Street event. So a measure of our success is if we could get JP involved, High Park, Mattapan, whatever. And we didn't so much last year. We got a little bit of buy-in out there, but we got Austin involved, and that was awesome.
What was the biggest obstacle in order to get this up and going?
Honestly, it was almost none. Last year it was almost none. And I think it's because no one knew yet how to make money on it. No one really could, like, other people had tried to do F&O here, but no one did it officially.
Yeah.
So the fact that Richard and I came from Vogue, had the city on board, everyone was like, sort of like, okay. So we were able to like, sort of like bypass the establishment, which is really thick here in this town. And go and just do what we wanted to do. And it helped that I have like such a big social media following as well.
Of course.
It's a great equalizer. I mean, we were able to do agency level work with no budget at all.
That's amazing.
Which is awesome about social media, right?
Yeah.
So you don't need to have like all this money and power. You can actually get the word out, you know, with like, as long as you know how to use the tools. So anyway, last year we were able to do it. So there wasn't much of an obstacle. This year was a different story.
So this just happened. Talk about this year.
This year was
how this year was
2
different.
days ago, and it was, you know, there was still a lot of buy-in, but unfortunately, a lot of people were like profiting off of it. Like they were like the mainstream traditional media, like the Boston Globe, completely ignored mine and Richard's involvement and focused on like places like Newbury Street League, who are actually selling sponsorship to
Which
these
is completely
events.
against.
It is absolutely against. Oh my God, they had like VIP private parties. And I actually didn't even go to F&O. Like I felt like that morning my job was done, but all night I monitored the social media. F&O Boston and on Twitter and Facebook, and there was tons of activity, and people were like so mad. They're like, we can't even get into these events on Newbury Street, they're private. And we're just like, there's nothing we can do, you know what I mean? Our job was done at that point. But like basically last year we snuck in. Yeah. And now this year, I feel like everyone said like Boston was pushed forward a lot last year because of F&O. I totally believe it was like pushed back.
Maybe Boston was just kind of waiting for something like this to happen.
Yeah, and now, and the people that are in power typically couldn't like stop me and Richard, and it was like an awesome event. And now this year they got back involved, and now it's back to being old school.
So what can you do for next year?
I don't really think we're going to bring it next year. It's like after. Other people can do F&O, but I don't know how they're going to do it with Vogue and the City of Boston officially.
Because Vogue did not intend for it to be that way.
Oh my God, it's completely, like what Newbury Street League did, it's completely against the rules of Fashion's Night Out, generally. And it's their trademark brand. Yeah. So I can't imagine next year, if there isn't an official producer, that Newbury Street League is going to be able, if they do, they're going to have to do it right. And that would be cool. I'd be happy with that. Yeah. You know, Richard and I just want it to be like, and we might sound idealistic, you know, like, but we just want it to be like a cool, open to the public event. You know, it's not like we didn't profit at all on it financially, and it's not because we don't want to. It's like we were like sort of building our brand and our reputation. So we did benefit from it.
Well, you want to uphold that, and thank God for social media, because maybe that can help you, you know, yield a better result for next year. So
I don't think we're going to do. Thank you very much.
Well, we wish you a lot of luck, and I'm sorry that it took a turn for that, but you know. Good luck with the future, and thank you for bringing awareness to Boston and fashion to Boston. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you, Michelle. Thank you so much. Good luck to you and Richard both. Thank you. When we return, we will meet a designer who will debut his latest collection during this year's Boston Fashion Week. Keep it here on Style It Up.
Mom, can I have $1? Yeah, it's right. I think my purse is upstairs on the bed. It's not here. Check the dining room. No. What about your sister's room? It's not there either. The upstairs closet? The downstairs closet? There are no more closets.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
The wedge heel has adorned the feet of women since the 1930s. But who is the designer behind the heel with height? Salvatore Ferragamo created the wedge heel in 1936, first using cork because of a leather and rubber shortage caused by World War II. Shortly, wedges grew in popularity and were the craze of the mid-1930s. The fashion of the time called for height. Wedges offer height with shoulder pads, adding to the illusion. Seemingly easier to walk in than skinny heels, wedges reach up to 5 inches during this time period. This was not the last the fashion world seen of these heels. Wedges reappeared in the 1970s with louder, more colorful, and more outrageous design. One design even allowed for a goldfish to live in the heel. This time around, wedge fashion was not only made for women, but also men were seen rocking the heel with height. In the 1990s, wedges resurfaced in the form of sneakers and were all the rave in both US and Europe. These sneakers could be seen on celebrities like British pop band, the Spice Girls. In 2006, the wedge reappeared made of cork wrapped in rope, some with straps or ankle wraps for a more secure feeling. The wedge also came in the form of flip-flops. And now, the wedge heel is back, coming in bright colors and designs in the version of boots, booties, peep-toe sandals, dress shoes, pumps, and even bridal shoes, showing that the heel with height has not yet kicked the bucket, and proving the old adage, there is nothing new under the sun. Thank you, Mr. Ferragamo. I will be holding on to my wedges for a while. I'm Jess Lewis for Pave the Runway.
Pave the Runway features designers of the past and present who have made a major contribution to the fashion industry today and for the future. Welcome back to Style It Up. We're very excited about our next guest. He is a men and women's wear designer who's really emerging among the local fashion scene. Mark Cordell recently graduated from Bay State College, and since then he's been busy perfecting his collection for Boston Fashion Week. He is the founder of his clothing line, True Fiction, and he has showcased on multiple runways. We first met him at Fierce Styles fashion show and followed his career. So he's here with us today to showcase some of his pieces. Please welcome Mark Cordell. Mark, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Nice.
So let's learn a little bit more about you and how you came to be a menswear designer.
Okay. Well, I went to Bay State College. The program there initially is just fashion design, predominantly women's wear. And they have a segment, the semester, where they introduce you to tailoring. And from the tailoring classes, I just realized that, okay, I really want to be a menswear designer. I love suiting. I love actually bringing my flair to actually breaking the rules. Menswear is all about detail, you know, the subtle detail, bold detail, quiet detail. It's just about, I guess you can say, balancing the lines. And I love balancing those lines and breaking those rules in the right way. And that's what attracted me to menswear.
I like breaking rules too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. You know, I live by the book. Seriously. So talk about what your inspirations are.
Okay, so maybe I should start with what I'm wearing right now.
I love what you're wearing. Seriously, I love what you're wearing. Yeah, go for it.
This initial piece is kind of like, when you see True Fiction, this is what you get. Like, this is my aesthetic.
It kind of reminds me of the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's like, it's more of like, you know, I'm in my happy place, but I'm cold and I'm dark.
And I'm dark,
So
like
everything that I do, whether each
You're starting
season,
to scare me. You're very dark right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, yeah, take that off. Okay.
So,
oh, there you are. Hey, what's up? Hey.
Yeah, oh, hi.
If you take your glasses off, do you become Superman? I'm sorry. Anyway, back to
and that goes back to like mixing my whole, you know, my inspirations, my aesthetics together and pulling one big product. And I think that's important about being a designer, is actually making a stamp in this industry and letting people know that, okay, when you see my piece, this is True Fiction. This is
Mark.
Exactly.
Yeah. So who are your inspirations for menswear designers? Just because I feel like there's not that many out there who really stand out as just menswear.
Yeah, I can't wait. I was so waiting for you to ask me that. I'm okay, first of all, Givenchy is my favorite. Like, he is a god in my eyes. When I was in college, we had a portfolio class, and we had to gear our portfolio for, you know, the actual work setting. and we had to choose 3 designers that we actually had to apply for and meet towards. So Givenchy was like my top. Tom Brown, I don't know if you're familiar with Tom Brown. He lets me know that it's okay to break all of the rules in menswear as long as you reconstruct it and give the rules back, you know? I love Ralph Simmons. He's a big inspiration on me. And Yohji Yamamoto, he's great.
He's great. I think that's where your darkness comes from.
Yeah.
He's just so mysterious.
But I wouldn't say, like, these are designers that I look up to, and, you know, they influence me, but I wouldn't say that, you know, I draw from those designers, you know? I just, you know, it's kind of like the men and the people in the industry already set the path, and they open up the door, because before then, you know, what did we have? We had Bill Blass, we had Tom Ford. Well, Tom Ford is he started at Gucci about 6 years ago, so he's still young. So we had Calvin Klein, Bill Blass, we had
Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, and that's what we saw as menswear. But you know, when Tom Ford came along, and when Yohji Yamamoto, Ralph Simmons, these guys, Givenchy, they broke these rules, and they just changed the industry.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I want to see some of your rule breaking.
Nice.
So let's bring out the first look.
All right, so the first look was inspired. It's a little sartorial, tailored, but still has my my aesthetic in the print. So this is just a basic cardigan with a basic pocket detailing. I love pockets. The print was engineered by me, and that is actually the material is actually just a cotton sateen. The pants are just a tapered pleated fit. If you can see, it kind of reminds you almost.
I was going to see that.
Everybody
I
says
didn't want to insult
that.
you. Okay,
Everybody says that, but they're actually, it's almost like.
Does he come? Does he come with the dance and everything?
It's just no. But this is actually just a tailored pant, tapered at the bottom. Right here, if you look, there's intricate pleating detail. I love pleats.
Are there rules to wearing a tapered pleated pant?
As long as you see he paired it with like a gladiator sandal. You can do something like that as long as the shoe is intricate and neat. A boot, a rise dress shoe, maybe with a heel, kind of like what Gucci just did for the spring, the 70s nostalgic thing. And if you look at this, it also has like a nostalgic feel. Kind of reminds you of like a beginning 70s, early 80s type of feel, comfortability.
I can totally see that, yeah. I love this look. Thank you. Let's see our next look.
And I should probably actually say this collection is actually my fall 2012, which I showcased the end of last year at the Fierce Styles.
Yeah.
This whole collection was inspired by Kanye West's Runaway short film.
Wow,
you know, the story of the phoenix that came down, it was his girlfriend, and then people
beautiful.
didn't understand her, and she went back. It was this whole, I don't know if you've seen the short film, but there's a scene where he's paying homage to Michael Jackson, and it's like black and white. And I was just inspired by this woman getting lost in the blackness.
Oh, wow.
So, but still, you know, managing to be, you know, beautiful,
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So,
I love the draping. This just totally works.
Yeah, I just took a square and draped it around. The bodice is just gathered, and it has like a little exaggerated train, so you know she can kick it.
Yeah. I don't think if I took a square I could come up with this, but I'm glad that you could. Thank you so much. Let's see the next look.
And this is actually, this piece has been doing very well. Very, very, very well. This is actually inspired, the same inspiration, the Kanye West Runaway short film. The red and the blacks of the homage to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Again, the print was engineered by me, and this is actually a silk jersey.
It's totally MC Hammer. Like that.
Just a little bit of gatheredness, a little bit of fullness, not too much. I just wanted to kind of keep it not so dramatic because the print was already, you know, enough. I like to balance the lines.
And the pop of color really works. I feel like this could be both men's and women's.
It's androgynous all the way.
It totally is. It really works.
And if you take
Looks like
unbutton
a jacket
this.
that I'm wearing.
This is actually
Oh, it's a shirt. Okay, so it's two-piece.
It's a two-piece.
Got it, okay.
It looks like a one-piece onesie,
Yeah.
but that's the beauty of it. It's just a matching tank and pant. I love it.
I do too.
It's great.
It's great.
I go to New York
great.
every time, and we rock out. Me and my team.
That's awesome.
It's electric.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty electrifying for sure. Thank you so much. So talk about Boston Fashion Week coming up.
Okay.
And your new collection, what are you showing and your inspiration for this particular collection?
So I was inspired by the sunset for this collection. This is actually Spring 13. It's called, well, I like to call it the line, the collection Liberdade, which means freedom or liberty in Portuguese. The sunset has this thing of, you know, everything is bright, everything is great, but when the sun goes down, like there's a mystery. And that's what the collection is all about. There's a bit of a nostalgia in it. There's also this algamality to it. It's just all about being comfortable. I'm envisioning this guy who just wants to return back to being a child and being bad, you know, breaking windows, you know, but not like, you know, knowing.
I didn't do that when I was a child. I studied really hard, but
well, I broke windows.
yeah, that's fine. Hey, to each their own.
I was a riot. No, but it's kind of geared towards that guy, and who pretty much wants to return back to being innocent, but you know, still being bad, being the evil child.
You're very poetic. Perhaps you could, you know, dabble in poetry at some point.
You know, I used to write all the time, but
oh, I could see that. I could totally see that. So tell us, where can we find out more about you?
Well, right now we have the website up. It's called mark-cordello.com.
Mark-cordello.com. Okay.
I am doing a couple of things in New York. We're getting ready to prepare for New York Fashion Week for the fall.
Oh, wow.
Or for February.
For February,
so we're going to have a showcase out there, and I do a lot of print work out there. I'm going to be still in Boston for a little bit, you know.
Well, keep us posted. It's really, I mean, this is really exciting. I want to see the looks one more time if everybody wants to just come on stage, because you definitely have a unique flair, and you know, you do take risks, and
yeah, it's all
in terms
about
of men's wear, this is definitely one of the most interesting and unique collections I've seen. So,
nice.
But we wish you so much luck.
Thank you.
In Boston Fashion Week in New York, wherever the road takes you, just keep us posted, because we'd love to have you back on again.
Great.
Mark, thank you so much. Thank you.
you.
Unfortunately, that's our show for today. I would like to thank my guests, Fashions Night Out organizer Michelle McCormack, and thank you so much to Mark, who's here with me, of True Fiction. Please check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and before I go, I will leave you with this quote from William Shakespeare. I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. Who knew he was into fashion? Till next time, I'm your host, Olga Medvedev.